Howdy, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Debauchery Circus Campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around the virtual table today are Brandie, Brie, Jr., and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Howdy.
John's unfortunately out today, but we'll try not to kill Willow off. Now, this Wednesday, June the 1st at 7 p.m., we will be starting a very special one-shot here on the Random Rhapsody Network. We are going to be testing out a new rule system called Maginites, which is based on anime tropes like Sentai and Magical Girls. Stephen Parker from the Debauchery Circus and Alyssa Egan from the Fab Five will be joining 3 new players as they all try to unravel the mystery behind an echo from the stars. You can check out their Kickstarter at Maginites.com to learn more about the system we'll be playing, and you can keep up to date on all of our scheduling by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Debauchery Circus. And we're back. So when we last left off, the Debauchery Circus had split ways to take care of a few objectives over the course of some downtime. In Port Suliard, Ichabod pursued the leads he had uncovered about his missing wife Prudence and his children. After terrorizing a small child near the wharf, Ichabod was able to confirm that his son Ishmael had indeed gotten involved with the local branch of the Cerulean Syndicate and became a pickpocket and cutpurse, along with a group of 4 other children who seemed to have also disappeared around the same time as Ichabod's family. He also visited the home of Prudence once occupied, where he obtained a few meager possessions his wife had left behind, including religious textbooks, her diary, and a small pouch that was buried beneath her house containing her mementos, including a necklace and her wedding ring. In Northamia, Blaznir spent the week they were waiting for their commissions, carousing around in the taverns across the city, building new contracts and having a bit of fun to let loose after their ordeal with the Beholder. Corin attempted to find a way he could learn Elvish, given his new body, but soon found that there were some things that even the Cerulean Syndicate wasn't willing to try to steal. Fortunately for him, however, Kaya had been given an open invitation to join the Erudite Conclave, which was probably one of only a handful of places outside of Ilmythica that could have such a thing. Kaya then spent her week training under the Conclave's master martial artist, Master Owen. And of course, Corin was able to get his dictionary so he can start learning the language of his new body. And so, Debauchery Circus. While Kaya had completed her next stage of training and received her belt, she also officially joined the Erudite Conclave as a junior field researcher. And she immediately signed a contract to travel to the city of Rowena in the Margarden Federation to participate in a gladiator tournament in the hopes of acquiring an ancient relic from the Zaim of the Federation, the legendary Dream Route. With this new destination in mind, your group in North EMEA gathered together inside a quiet room at the inn you were all staying, so that Corin could draw up his teleportation circle and you could all head back to Coltrast once again. Ichabod is probably about a day out from the city, traveling by horse, but he too will be arriving in good order. But before you could cast your spell, Corin, a question comes to each of your minds. And that question is, how do you feel about receiving and giving orders? Are you more of a leader or more of a follower? And Ichabod, since you're the one who rolled, why don't you go ahead and go first?
I think Ichabod has a healthy respect for authority, so he's good at taking orders and doing them, no questions asked. But he also sees himself as a figure of authority. So to people that I recognize as being above me, he's very good at taking orders. And to people who I recognize as being my subordinates, I think they should be good at taking orders. So I would say all in all, though, probably a little bit more of a follower.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. Corin, how about you?
Corin doesn't really like being a leader because then it means that you're responsible for what happens to the people that you order.
That is true.
He's fine with making plans to, advise or to draw ideas of what should be done, but in the actual carrying it out, he's not a fan of being a leader.
Fair enough. Blaznir, how about you?
I'm more of a follower, but I can lead if I need to. But I'd rather follow.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is doesn't take orders well an option?
I'm a follower, but I don't take orders well.
Yeah. That's fair. Kaya, how about you?
I mean, Kaya's just there to provide the brawn. Show her where to go, she'll do it. She's got no desire to be a leader of anything, really. She just wants to wander. And, beat people up when they need it.
So it sounds like Ichabod's really the driving force of this group.
I'm a follower in a leadership position.
Yeah, pretty much.
God is...
But I am following the will of the Father, so he is leading us.
Okay, that's fair. Well then, Debauchery Circus. Corin's spell is cast, and you all step through quickly to find yourselves in a room that has actually been cleaned since the last time you were on this floor. You're standing in a room that was once Edmund's mother, and his mother's sitting room. God, I'm just tripping all over. Yeah, you're standing in a room that was once Edmund's mother's sitting room. Most of the furniture has been removed long, long ago, but you can still see the pale pinks and greens of the paper that had been put up over the stone walls of the keep in that room. On the stone ground, however, there is a large magic circle, which has been etched there over the long course of a year, while Veritude's men had prepared the transportation circle to this area. There are four individuals, I should say, 3 men and 1 woman, standing guard inside this room. And as you all kind of appear there, they all have their weapons raised and like, oh shit. But then they very quickly recognize your group. They know exactly who you are. And they all put their weapons down and greet you heartily instead. As I said, that's 3 men and 1 woman. All of them are humans, and all of them are clearly former members of the resistance that your group had helped to grow. They're looking rather thin and starved, as most of the people in Coltrast are, but they do look a bit stronger, like maybe they've had a better meal or two since Edmund's taken power. And they welcome you. Oh, Debauchery Circus, welcome! We weren't expecting you today.
Yes, I should have sent word. That is my mistake.
Oh, Oh, well, no worries, sir. No worries. Lord Edmund's in his study. Not sure if you need anything.
Waiting to see if anybody else says anything.
I mean, if none of you have anything you need to discuss with Edmund, you're I mean,
No.
Coltrast is pretty well yours. You can just head back to your mansion and really do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, the one thing that I will be informing everybody is I'm going to remind them that the interviews are coming up, and that obviously, aside from not blowing our cover, the only thing that I'm trying to do here is see if I can find out any information on how the hunt for my master is going.
Okay. So you're planning on asking the dwarf about that? Or who are you planning on asking?
I was going to, vaguely steer the conversation in a way that it might come up and hope for the best.
Okay.
More than anything.
Well, Coltrast Keep and the town around it is pretty much yours. Ichabod will be arriving probably first thing in the morning the next day. Is there anything you're wanting to do? Don't everyone speak up at once.
Anything you want to do behind my back, heathens?
I can't think of anything funny.
Now, Kaya, I do have a couple things for you. I promised you that I was going to be giving you your contract, the Erudite Conclave contract. So let me go ahead and give you that now, since I'm sure once you met up with your group, you told them a little bit about joining the Conclave. Here's the contract. Now, the contract itself is very large and very technical, and you can absolutely read through this whole thing, but in a nutshell, what it actually says is that you, as a member of the Erudite Conclave, as a field researcher, you are being sent down to the city of Rowena to participate in the Ezra Championship, which is going to be held at the beginning of next month. This tournament, what they're trying to achieve by this is to get an item known as the Dream Root, which other groups of the Conclave have discovered that one of which is being held by the Zaim of Rowena. The Zaim is the head of the Margarden Federation. Whoever wins the tournament, whichever group wins the tournament, gets to make a request of the Zaim. And so Conclave researchers are being sent down to participate in this tournament to ask for the Dream Root. That way they can give that to the Conclave. So if you succeed in doing so, just joining the tournament itself gets you 1,500 gold pieces, and if you actually are able to recover the Dream Root itself, you get 1,000 platinum pieces for turning that in. Pretty hefty fund. You do know from a little bit of what your field research liaison told you is that this is a pretty big thing. Researchers don't usually get paid this much, so it's obviously a very important mission. The second thing that you received, because of joining the Conclave, is a dossier on the Cult of the Dreamer, the other group that is out there looking for these Dream Roots. And your group knows a little bit about them as well. You've encountered them once or twice dealing with another object, the Dream Seeds that some of you possess. So here's that dossier.
It's very suspicious that you wrote this contract. It's very sus. There's something in the small print in there, and he's banking on us not reading the whole thing.
I mean, I already read the part where it's being signed as our adventuring group, even though
everybody
is the one who is actually working for them.
It says, and her mercenary team.
Yep. It actually does. That's how.
So,
That's
can
how
I
she said.
hire my lawyer to take a look at this? This is
Kaya's definitely reading over it,
Oh, boy.
rereading lines, because
between sessions. We're not going to sign this session, and then we have to read it between sessions.
Apparently,
Oh
they
no,
want
she
us
already
to,
signed it.
Oh,
apparently
she
they
signed
want
it.
us to keep
But
the
can
heads
she
of
sign away
monsters
us?
slay.
Like, they don't need us to.
I mean,
Sign
if your group, basically anyone who works with her to do this gets paid a premium fee as people who helped her out. But she's the only member that's actually of the conclave. So the contract itself is really only legally binding to her.
Okay, I was worried.
Okay.
Mercenary team is in there. I was worried she signed away my rights or something.
But it was, but the wording of it was ambiguous enough that while yes, she is a member of the conclave and she does have a mercenary team she works with, the people who benefit from that contract is kind of ambiguous. They're not specified. So
Just to leave it open so
Yeah.
that we could benefit. Okay.
in
Yeah, so
case
you
one
could
of us
benefit.
dies or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So-
you could absolutely, once you get back to Coltrast, if you wanted to speak with Edmund and show him the
Like,
contract,
Edmund, get me a lawyer. Stat.
he actually does have advisors. Your group is a part of his advisory team, but he does have people within Coltrast who are more scholarly of this sort of thing. And I'll just let you know, for the sake of time, that there isn't any horrible loopholes in this.
That's fair.
Well, you don't know. I might find
I
one.
do have
I'll be
one
the jump back.
one question I would like some clarity on. Line 2.5 at the very end, it says 1 haversack of colding will be provided for this purpose.
Yes, and you actually were provided that as you left.
Wait, but is it supposed to say haversack of colding?
Yes, it's literally a haversack of colding. This is another haversack that you were given before you left the conclave after signing this contract, and it's very similar to your haversack. The mouth is a little wider and can stretch a little bit, but it's cold inside. Like you put something in there and pull it out again, and it's damn near ice cold. The
it's to
purpose
keep
of
stuff
this
fresh.
is specifically to preserve the specimens that you collect as you travel and as you do your journey. And the conclave pays a premium for specimens collected. They use these to mark locations of beast migration and to study like evolutionary traits as they grow. And so they require that if you want a payment for this, you collect their heads or some other equivalent specimen.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't some sort of typo that, null and voids his entire contract.
Nope, it is 100%. You have this now, so you actually have the haversack of colding, and you should, while you're on this mission, you should absolutely collect the heads. These things were explained to you when they gave you all this, but I did forget to mention it before now. But yes, I did mention the haversack of colding last session, but I didn't go into a whole lot of detail. But anyway, so yeah, as you're going on a conclave mission, if you kill monsters, you collect where it is, and you collect the specimen, and then you mark down in your journal where you fought it, where you were at, and time, date, any information you deem appropriate. That's the magic of that tattoo you have. You actually have a journal and a pen and paper that you always carry around with you to make notes of things you're doing as you're on these missions. And then the conclave takes that information, correlates it, updates all of their libraries and that sort of thing. And that's how the conclave functions.
All right.
Yep.
We're scientists.
So, Matt,
Yeah.
you asked if we wanted to do anything in Coltrast behind Ichabod's back.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. I'm gonna go find an artist to do just a quick picture of me.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add like some hearts to it if I could find like something that's like red or pink that I could use for like dye. And
And
just
then you're right.
stick
Do
it
you
in the
like me? Yes.
stick it in the closest equivalent that Ichabod has in his room to a closet. Just like hang it up there.
Okay. So, so yeah, absolutely. If you go and like, I imagine probably Kaya went off to talk with Edmund and with his advisors about the contract just to really understand it now that she has it. Willow probably goes off and sulks for a little bit, but you head out into Coltrast and start asking around for an artist to create an interesting picture. Go ahead and do an investigation check for me.
Sure.
In this picture, are you fully clothed?
I mean, I was just thinking of it as like one of those things that
Are you trying to frame me as having a shrine to you in my closet?
No,
so-
I
I
like
got
what
one.
high school kids do
Mm-hmm.
when they're like sappy and they have a crush, and so they like put a picture up somewhere, you know?
But you said it was a picture of you.
Yeah, I
Putting
know.
it in my closet.
Yeah, I know. I
So-
got a 26.
Okay, so yeah, absolutely. With your 26, you go walking through the town of Coltrast, asking around, and you're directed to a local artist, kind of a skinny, weedy-looking man with long black hair that is always kind of over his face, but is an amazing artist. And you tell him that you want to commission this picture of yourself, and
I'll
you
add
say-
the hearts myself.
You'll add the hearts yourself,
So you're
and he kind of starts asking you questions. Is this supposed to be like a dramatic pose? Are you wanting to look like heroic? Are you wanting to look seductive? Are you trying to look contemplative? What image do you want to have to be in?
Like
Yeah.
male model on the cover, like.
I mean, you're sounding like you want me to go full Burt Reynolds and just have
It
me
just
like
sounds-
lying on a bearskin rug with only a spell book
No,
over my
that-
junk.
Actually, I was more
depends on what
thinking a
you're
bunch of
trying to-
bananas.
What are you trying to accomplish with this? That's the
Yeah,
question.
that's what I'm asking you. What are you trying to accomplish with this? How do you want to look?
I just think it's funny. And, you know, like I said, I'm trying to make it look like, you know, when some high school kid has a crush or whatever. So
Yeah, so he's like
picture
Zac Efron.
of
Stop.
whoever their crush is somewhere up in their room.
Okay. So, he gives you a couple choices of some outfits. You end up choosing something a little bit revealing, but not too bad. And you do this pose of, like, I'm imagining the 18 magazine with young actors doing that handsome studly pose that's supposed to look
Yeah,
cute,
where
but
they
isn't.
look really stern
Yeah.
and kind of purse their lips a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not looking like I want to fuck you because it's meant for like teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the pose that I'm imagining.
Sure.
He
It's
tells you,
PC.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say it's probably going to run you 10 gold pieces for this work.
Sure.
'Cause it's not huge. It takes a few days to work. Or actually, if you want it done quickly, like you want this in before, okay,
Yeah.
then it'll take the rest of the day. You're gonna get this done probably like 2 a.m.
Sure.
But you'll be able to get it done. And for the extra work and the extra speed, it's going to cost you 25 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
Harassing me.
Yeah, so you're so you spend the day there while Kaya is being told that the contract is legit. It's actually a pretty good deal. Not sure what those dream roots are. Maybe it's connected to the dream seeds, but you never really have looked into those too much, so you can't really be sure. But at the end of the day, you all make it back to your respective rooms in the mansion. Corin, where are you wanting? What are you wanting to do from here?
Like I said, I'm gonna find the closest thing that Ichabod has to a closet and just put the picture up there.
Okay, in the closet. Let's see his room. So we actually have a map for this.
Oh, well, I think I'm on the first floor.
No, you're on this. Yeah, I moved. I'm going to move everyone to the second floor here. There we go. And so Ichabod's room is the one in the far
Top right.
northwestern, the top right of the map. And yeah, there is a bathroom and there is a closet that he is actually transforming into a shrine. A shrine to the father.
You're gonna go in there, and that's where my cat of nine tails is.
Yeah,
my whip on the wall.
Oh, I forgot to change it to the new map. I worked on a new map that last week. I'm gonna have to put that up. Anyway, but yeah, you go into Ichabod's room. You check the bathroom. You find this little shrine that's with a little man. Little statue of a bearded man in armor, big and bright. He has like a flame motif and a sun in there as well. Clearly the father of the five gods.
Private space for me.
You find it's on like I think of the way you described it for me, and that I made it was like there's a little altar there with the statue on there, and there's like a prayer mat on the floor,
like a rug on the floor, so I can get down on my knees, you know.
And go while you're in there. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Sure.
No, he's gonna find my secret diary.
19.
Well, you definitely find the cat of nine tails with some blood on it. That's
oh yeah, it's bloody in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's in his closet. He moved the wardrobe out into the main room. The other room in there is the bathroom.
I'm not checking the bathroom. I'm just going to put it in the closet.
Okay. Sure enough, you can do that. And are you just like putting it behind the statue of the father, or what do you do?
No, I mean, I want to put it somewhere in a way that it's not like trashing the shrine, but that it's clearly visible.
Put it on the opposite wall, so every time I walk in and I face the shrine and I don't notice it.
So if there's a way to do that, then I'll do that. If there's no way to put it in the shrine closet thing without trashing it, then I'll just stick it above the bed.
You want it above his bed?
If I can't fit it into the closet, then sure.
Well, yeah, you can fit it into the closet. Like there's space behind the statue, and
yeah, but then it would be like covered up and hard to see, right?
Yeah, and there is another wall. Like you could put it up right in front of the door. Like the moment he opens the door and walks in, you could put it right there, and he could see it there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I'll put it there.
Fair enough.
And then I'm gonna have to go and do something that I've never done before.
Okay, and what's that?
I'm gonna have to try and trance. Because I'm an elf now, and they don't need to sleep.
That's true. That is true. But, yeah, you can all head off to bed. I don't know, Kaya, Blaznir, is there anything you wanted to accomplish that evening once you returned from Coltrast?
I'm currently reading the contract.
Okay.
He's studying.
So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, so I'm kind of just, yeah.
Yeah, just sitting in your room, reading over the contract that Kaya had signed?
Have some small glasses on, just kind of reading through.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Kaya?
Kaya is currently soaking in her tub.
Yeah. You mean the hot tub in the basement?
No, like this where I'm at. Is that not a tub?
No, there's a rug on the floor, and then there's the
Oh,
bathroom.
it's freaking blue. Looked like a...
Yeah, that's a rug on the floor.
Oh.
Give yourself a sink
Sorry.
bath. Or you could go down in the hot tub because nobody
there's
else
the hot
is there.
tub downstairs. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought Kaya had a tub in her room for
I
some
still
reason.
love the fact that I asked for a hot tub just as a joke, and then you gave us a hot tub.
The hot tub is where we get all our best ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
We're always soaking in the hot tub, and we're like,
And yeah, I'll be soaking in the hot tub.
Yeah,
I need
you
to
definitely
research
can.
it.
It's pretty nice. You do have to ask Blaznir to come down and light the fires. Or you could just light the fires yourself. There's basically a little space underneath there where you can put logs and light fire and keep it warm that way.
Need to research a
Yeah,
spell
that's
to
what I
help with pruning for all the time we go into the hot tub.
restoration.
I don't think that's
I don't
just,
think
I
I have
think that's
that
just
problem.
restoration.
Well,
Restore your skin.
Yeah, it's just lesser restoration, like, honestly.
Meanwhile, if I can do something on this night while I'm on my way back,
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to read my wife's journal. You said I found her diary?
You did.
I don't remember if I read it last time.
No, you did not. You haven't read it yet, but as you're riding or making camp for the night, yeah, you can read it. Give me 1 second here. I just got to pull it up.
Mhm.
If you look there now, you got your shrine. Okay. So I imagine you've probably been reading this a little bit every day over the course of the few days that you were riding down back to Coltrast. It's a 4-day journey on horseback, and you have seen the occasional wild animal and probably had at least one decent battle during that time. But each night you sat down and started reading through the diary. Prudence's diary describes an early life filled with love for her husband. She details a lot of your day-to-day activities, the times you spent in the church, in the temple of your home country, and it's a diary of a newlywed. But as time goes on, and Ichabod, your work as a paladin with the Fist of the Father continues to get more and more, and you start to gain rank and that sort of thing. The diary begins to outline a very lonely existence as her husband grew more radicalized in his faith. The entry she makes speaks of feeling alone, of being without a voice and wishing for a way to be heard again. It speaks of desperation and hurt, and a strong desire to go back to the way things were. Eventually, the diary goes on to describe her husband's decision to leave for war, despite her repeated attempts to dissuade him. And she says that this is the opportunity that she needs. The diary goes on to describe how after her husband left, she sold what she could and took that and her savings and hired a ship sailing for a distant land. The diary describes an uneventful journey to North Emia, though several storms were listed. in North Emia. She spends a couple weeks, but finds the town to be too much for her taste. All those magic
She's
users,
the small town girl.
Yeah, all those magic users there going about it. It was hard for her, so she set sail again and eventually made her way to Port Suliard, where she took up residence, got a job at the local temple as a housekeeper, and generally tried to live a decent life while her son Ishmael gets more and more resentful. The diary describes a lot of fighting between the son and his mother. You get the impression. Mother takes child away. Son doesn't like it. Son starts acting out. Eventually falls in with some friends that are similarly jaded and cynical. And eventually,
so it seems more like he's upset that he's not back at home, and not that he's like resentful of me. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
The diary speaks more of towards the end of the diary about Ishmael getting in much deeper with the Cerulean Syndicate, not the Cerulean Syndicate. You know that they are. She just says with his unruly friends, and she does name them. You already have those names, though.
Oh yeah, the crew, the notorious crew.
Yeah,
that's what I wrote in my notes. Notorious crew.
Fee the Tabaxi, Bellman the human, Vestral the tiefling, Riren the dwarf, and Ishmael made quite the crew. They were around the house quite a bit for those first years. Then the kids were out, and Prudence was having a hard time keeping him under control. Eventually, she writes that she tries to speak to his bosses, and this gets him in trouble, and next thing she finds out, he's leaving, and he's going to a much more skilled assignment, he describes, as and in the city of Rowena. He leaves. She tries to convince him not to. She writes about how they had many fights over this, and eventually he just storms off and leaves. And she finds out he got on the next boat out the next day. She in a panic, writes about selling off what she can, having to travel with as little as possible, but going after him to Rowena along with Fearnot.
Okay, because I had thought that it was like he got in trouble with the Syndicate and owed them a debt, but in fact, he is liked by the Syndicate and is getting promotions.
Yeah, the diary doesn't really mention much of a debt.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about a debt to speak of, but you do definitely have that piece of a letter that spoke something about
that. That's what she said to the sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, is she trying to save face? I don't know. We'll see.
Your son's in the mob.
My son's either beloved by the mob or he is hated by the mob. And both of those are bad. So I need to go and set my son straight.
He works 3 no-show construction jobs.
He's a bad boy. You know, we Sykes boys, we always go through a rebellious phase around this time, but usually we're contained in a small town, and so we don't get into too much trouble. And then you put this boy in this degenerate country where they got all these thieves around, and he gets pulled into something bigger. So, if anything, I blame y'all.
You're welcome.
He was back in our good Christian neighborhood. You know, he would have just tipped some cows or something. And then got over it. Okay, good info.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, you get to the end of the diary on your last day there, and you kind of now have a bit of a picture of what's been going on with your son and your wife and that sort of thing. Don't know if that really gives you any closure, but it definitely is interesting.
Closure, but I know when I go there, the proper things to say to him, so I can discipline my boy.
He'll just look at you and be like, "Dad, suck on my Rowenis."
I'll pop him upside the mouth in the good old-fashioned way. We believe in corporal punishment down in Gulfport.
Wow.
But no. Lieutenant Dan, you ain't even a corporal.
Horrible. I'm still a bad guy.
Well, anyway, next day, everyone wakes up, is able to get some breakfast. Ichabod, you head out on the trail once again as early as you possibly can. You're probably going to make it into Coltrast around 10 o'clock at the latest.
All right.
And so, everyone, the day is yours. What are you wanting to do?
Alright, so I guess I arrive back and you guys are like having breakfast or something. So I walk in and I sit down and I just start eating breakfast and I don't say anything. And I still have a black eye and a lot of bruises.
Do you need me to get that for you? I can
get what?
You have a little bit of a shiner.
Oh. Well, you should see the other guy.
No, I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, you just walk over and cast Cure Wounds on your friends.
Yeah.
I just shovel food in my mouth very quick.
But that didn't do much at all. How does that? I don't understand how that's possible. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's still there. It's fine. You know, it was just a little scuffle, didn't mean nothing. I was north of Mia. I presume y'all had a good time.
A couple bad rumors came about, but, you know, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, were they true?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, you got so drunk you don't remember? I've been there once or twice.
I mean, like, I spread the rumors, I just don't know how true they were.
Oh, I see.
I managed to acquire a few useful items.
That so?
Yep. Matt.
Yeah.
Did I manage to successfully trance?
Yes, you absolutely did.
Cool.
It was weird. I mean, when you lay down, I imagine it's more you've been used to falling asleep, so you just kind of laid down and started zoning. And your mind just kind of goes blank and you just meditate in this weird sort of semi-awake, semi-sleeping state. But the cool thing is you wake up a hell of a lot earlier than everyone else. You only have to really rest for 4 hours.
Well, they might already have this information, but because she did me a favor, I'm going to try and do what I can. So I'm going to do my best to write down an accounting of what it felt like and what I experienced, and I'm going to give it to Kaya.
What trancing is like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess since elves are rare.
If the elves are very rare and a secretive nation, then the Enclave might not actually have this information, and, getting a first-hand account would be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and Kaya can sit down and she can kind of take the notes of all the things that you had experienced. It was weird. It was kind of like sleep, but at the same time, it kind of wasn't. It's like, you ever have that waking sleep where your mind is just vaguely conscious that you're sleeping, but you're still doing it?
Yeah, I've had waking nightmares before.
Well, it's not really a waking nightmare. You are getting getting rest. You are
That's
still
true.
you are still asleep, but it's just you have to do it less time.
Okay.
Anything planned for the next few days? Because I learned a little something interesting on my journey.
We have the interviews with that investigator where we have to try and make sure that he doesn't attempt to arrest me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Honestly, I can't keep track of the lie. So it's that Cameron died, and I sent his ashes down to Golfrin for some reason. Is that about it? I mean, I never really knew all that much about you before, Cameron.
Yes.
You think I can just play dumb?
I mean, if you wish to attempt to play the role of a himbo, that is certainly your prerogative, but I'm not certain whether or not it will be something that will fool him.
I don't think I got the mental capacity right now to come up with a lie.
The important part is to keep it simple and not try and overcomplicate things. Cameron died because he was disintegrated by a beholder. That's it. We were there. We fought the beholder.
And Cameron was disintegrated.
Cameron was disintegrated.
That much is true.
And then when I came back into a new body, I took
What do I say if he asks about your history? Like, how'd you leave the... What's it called?
I haven't told you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we're just not that close of friends.
Just say that I'm a secretive fellow, and maybe eventually you'll get to know me better, but for now...
We're just working together for convenience.
If that's all you think of me.
I think that's fine by me.
We could also say that you're a mutual friend of sorts, if so we're not doing any lying at all.
It's easier for lies to be rooted in the truth, and it is true. I don't know jack shit about Cameron. We're not really that close of friends.
It's technically true that Corin is a mutual friend, or we have a mutual friend, and we just started working.
What is
Cameron?
Oh, it's Cameron. But then it would imply that he would know more about Cameron.
What is it that you would like to know about me, Ichabod?
I mean, I don't really know what I want to know about you. You said you were from the Feywild. That's interesting. We're kind of terrorized by your folks down in Golfrin. You ever been down there? No, I doubt it.
Well, I've heard stories about the Feywild. It sounds fun.
It is a very chaotic place.
How did you get here if not for the portal down in Golfrin? That's something I want to know.
Well, aren't there other portals?
Just say
I don't know. I'm a pretty sheltered boy.
I had visions of the future that I sought to prevent, and so I left.
And then you just hopped on through somewhere?
Yes, essentially. But in all seriousness, if you do ever have questions or wish to know something about me, feel free to ask.
Ditto. I'll leave it open. I guess we can become better friends. It's been a while. Trusted you with my life. It gets awkward.
That is what one must do with our sort of lifestyle. Find folks that you can place your life and your trust into.
All right. Well, on that topic then, I did learn a little something on my own little journey to find my family, and that is that my eldest son, Ishmael, has run into some trouble with something called the Cerulean Syndicate. Seems like a thieves guild of sort. And he did in fact leave some months ago to go to a town called Rowena. You know anything about this?
I know of the Cerulean Syndicate, but not much of the town of Rowena. the Cerulean Syndicate is vast, and their reach is great.
So this is like no joke, huh?
Correct.
Not just boys being boys.
Well, if Willow were here, let me cut in here real quick. If Willow were here, she would actually be able to tell you a little bit more about the Cerulean Syndicate. The Cerulean Syndicate itself is based in the Margarden Federation, and Rowena is pretty much their mecca. Rowena is called the Sapphire of the Jura Wastes. It's basically this big oasis that grew a town and a bazaar. All the riches that come out of the Jura Waste pass through Rowena.
Yeah, you said it's like a desert city, right?
It is a desert city.
Okay.
It's a desert city right outside an oasis. It has the largest bazaar, the largest shopping area in all of Loroupa. It also has the gladiator arena. Slavery is definitely a thing in the Jura Wastes, and there is a market for that in this area as well.
Trading in humans.
Well, trading in beings. Quite a few different. The Margarden Federation itself is not a kingdom. It's more of an alliance between cities, and its center is Rowena. And the Cerulean Syndicate is... that's the home of the Cerulean Syndicate, is Rowena. She would probably admit a little bit about the fact that she worked there at one point. And she would also tell you all that she has business down there as well.
Would she be able to tell us how they keep hold of their power?
A lot of different reasons: fear, intimidation, bribery, flat out power.
Okay.
The Thieves Guild's reach is vast. They have their fingers everywhere.
That's what I figured.
Every city has its own little cell of thieves, and it basically trickles all the way back to Rowena.
Well, they got their dirty claws into my boy. And I know this may be hard for y'all to understand if you ain't got kids of your own, but he's my kin, and it's important to me that I go down there and set him on the straight and narrow. Hopefully just kind of reestablish any kind of contact, since it's been a few years since I've really been with my family. So that's a little about me that I'm sharing because you requested. So if y'all have business in Rowena, I think we should go there.
That'll be fun. Sure.
It'll
Sounds
be
like
interesting.
An interesting place, though we'll need to keep our wits about us.
Yeah, if it's as dangerous as Willow is saying, then I think I'm gonna need some backup.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't want you to be human trafficked or anything. So
I wouldn't make a good slave.
I honestly don't think that's true.
You think I'd be a good slave?
Yeah, you can do some work.
All chained up,
down in a coal mine or something.
Sweat
I mean, I do got
from your brow.
I've got the physicality for it. I don't know if if I'd be docile enough.
But they'll break you eventually.
Speaking of, I could use a good scrap.
Corin pulls a fan out from seemingly nowhere and just starts fanning himself.
All right, when's this feller supposed to come in? Because I'm ready to get interviewed. As ready as I'll ever be.
Oh, before he comes in, I'm gonna do something just so we can be a bit more charismatic. Because I don't trust this.
I'm already brimming with charisma.
Yeah, but do you have advantage on it?
I don't know what that means, but
I know. All right, talkers. All right, I will cast Enhance Ability at.
Frankly, Blaznir, I feel like you probably need it more than me or Cameron do.
Well, I can cast it on all three of us.
All right, in that case, Lay on me.
So-
What about Kaya here?
She doesn't do much talking in general. So
I look at Kaya. What's Kaya doing?
He's not wrong.
Looks like he's meditating or something.
Anyway,
about breakfast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just sitting there eating.
yeah, I'm gonna cast this when we hear a knock on the door.
So we sit around just having a smorgasbord of breakfast for like hours.
So yeah, if you're just hanging out in the mansion, nobody.
Yeah, we're
comes
just
to
hanging
the
out.
door. Yeah, nobody comes to the door.
If we have any fruit, I will feed small pieces of fruit to my familiar because he is adorable.
Yeah, absolutely. You all notice that Corin's familiar has changed since the last time you saw it. What does it look like now?
He is an adorable baby toucan.
He's a toucan.
A little toucan.
Yep, little toucan perched on his shoulder, and he's just feeding fruit to it as you all eat. Anesthetic is in chat right now. She says she's sending her inspiration to you, Ichabod.
Yay!
But eventually, you an hour goes by, 2 hours goes by. Nobody's come to the door.
Were we supposed to meet him someplace?
Never really
he probably doesn't know that we're here.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there smoking a pipe for a while, and then I stand up and I go, "Well, I think I'm gonna go talk to Edmund," and I start walking out the door.
Yeah, send a message, I guess.
Okay, what are you doing, Corin?
Well, actually, I don't know if I have a spell for that. I was looking to see if I had a spell that could just send him a message, but...
Well, if you have the message spell or sending, those would work.
I mean, I have the message spell, but the message spell is only 120 feet.
This is true.
And I don't think I have sending, so... Yeah, I'll just follow Ichabod, I guess. Let Edmund know that we're all back and see if he knows where the Inquisitor is.
I'll follow along. Just.
I just walk out the door, and you guys follow like 20 feet behind me.
Yeah, yeah. So you just head out the door, Ichabod. Wandering up towards Coltrast. You glance back. Your friends are all following you. You're just boldly heading up there.
Yeah, I still got my pipe in my mouth.
Yeah, and I just imagine that tobacco smoke trailing out behind you as you're walking. I think this is actually probably a great time to take a break.
Okay.
You do make it up to Coltrast, and Edmund is in his waiting in his study working. You'll be brought up to him, and we'll find out what happens once you arrive there when we come back in about 10 minutes. So stay tuned. Howdy everyone, we are back. When we last left off, the Debauchery Circus was heading up to Coltrast Keep, looking for the dwarf that is supposed to be questioning them, Granton Fruitwhistle. You arrive in Coltrast in good order, and you're eventually led up to the study that Edmund has taken over from his father.
Is this the secret one that we went up into?
It is.
Nice.
It is. It's been cleaned since then, and he's in that front room, sitting behind a desk, working on some papers. Jonathan Junger, one of the leaders of the rebellion, is there with them. They're kind of going over military deployment, and when you walk in, they're currently talking about the orcs, what were they? The Red Tusk Orcs,
Yeah.
and using them within the militia to bolster its forces. And once you all walk in, they kind of look up and is like, "Oh, welcome back, everyone. The guards told me that you arrived yesterday. How are you, my friends? Please come in."
Well, I'm good. Been better. How are you, Edmund?
I'm doing well. Coltrast is coming along nicely, I think. We have foods being transported in from the nearby towns, so that's definitely helping the people. Unfortunately, no one from the Magisterium has arrived yet to study the giant root down in the basement. But apart from that, that dwarf, Granton Flitwhistle, is still hanging around the keep.
Oh yeah? You know where he's at? Is he here in this building?
Actually, I think I saw him this morning heading into the library.
Interesting. I look to Corin and Blaznir and Kaya if he's here.
Yeah, I feel like Kaya probably would have gone along rather than stay back by herself.
And I give him a little shrug.
That reference.
Well, Edmund, you seem like you've been quite busy these past few days, huh?
Yes, indeed. It's been pretty chaotic overall. But good news is that the town is getting together, and we're making things work, and I'm learning a lot with all of this. This is all pretty new to me. Making decisions and that sort of thing.
Well, I know you're a man now and all, but nonetheless, I feel like a boy your age should be allowed to have some fun every once in a while. I just kind of stand there awkwardly. Do you want to like, I don't know, go fishing?
He just kind of looks at you awkwardly, like, I suppose at some point. I don't think I can do that right now. He just kind of shrugs, like, if you want to. Like he's not used to that kind of a request from you, Ichabod.
Ichabod is feeling fatherly.
We could go fishing tomorrow if you like.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Get up early. I'll be here to get you. And then I immediately leave.
You just walk
before he says anything. All right. So sounds like that dwarf is probably hiding around somewhere in this keep. If y'all are so desperate to talk to him,
would the dream root be something that the Conclave would want me to investigate and put in the journal stuff?
Oh,
or not the dream root. I mean the root system. I'm assuming. I don't. The
basement.
Down below the keep. Yes, absolutely. The Conclave would be very, very interested in that, actually.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go and take whatever notes of that I can while I'm.
Where are you going?
Okay, so after Ichabod leaves, Kaya heads down into the lower levels, into down below the dungeon, below the crypt, and down the long dark corridor. Now, no one's really been down here since your group fought the Beholder. There's some guards posted at the crypt entrance. Doesn't let anybody by, but you're the heroes of Coltrast, so they're not going to give you much issue, Kaya.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, hey, no, I'm here on the Enclave business. I'm allowed to be here.
Enclave? What's an enclave?
Isn't that what is it? Erudite? No, conclave. Erudite Conclave?
Yeah, the Erudite Conclave.
Close.
Well, yeah, that's close. Unfortunately, these guys don't know what the Erudite Conclave is either, but you do explain what it is you're doing and that sort of thing. And it's not hard to go down there. You do probably have to spend the rest of the day making notes of whatever you can. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I just want to know if the guards have started referring to themselves as the Crypt Keeper.
Can I have advantage since it's on official conclave business?
No, but if you're spending all day down there and trying to be as thorough as possible... Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you do spend all day just taking notes, making... writing down what you can see. And like I've described it before, but I will again. This cavern is very, very large and filled with an actual forest. There's no light source down here. There's nothing that seems to allow these things to get sustenance, but they are perfectly formed standard trees. There's birch, there's ash, there's elm. There's big ones, there's small ones, there's bushes and grass and things like this. And you actually spend time taking as many notes of the various things there that you can find.
Try to do some drawings. I don't know how good I am at drawing, but...
Well, let's find out. Make a performance check.
13.
See, that's not too bad. I mean, you're no Picasso by any stretch of the imagination, but you can make a pretty decent sketch of a tree and draw the shapes of some of the leaves for reference and that sort of thing. Now, you yourself probably aren't proficient in nature, so you might not know about a lot of these, but throughout the course of the day, you could also just call Blaznir in and ask him questions about that sort of thing and take some detailed notes about the forest. Obviously, the big thing in the center is the very phallic root stretching down from the ceiling to the huge mound that is covered in vines and grass and leaves and that sort of thing. Since the last time you've been down there, which has been a little over a week, you notice that vines have grown up along the wooden scaffolding that they had built down there to get closer to the dream root and to dig all that stuff out. But as I was saying, it's the scaffolding that was there is now basically being overtaken by the growth of greenage that's down there. The whole thing is covered in vines, lots of leaves starting to poke out pretty much everywhere. It's like the forest is reclaiming all the wood in that area. And even the wood itself that you assumed would be dead because they, built stuff out of it, has leaves growing out of it as well.
I don't like that.
Definitely make note of all that. Where it looks like the dead stuff is growing too. Just in case.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Ichabod?
I said I don't like it.
Okay. But
I can just burn it if you want.
I would actually.
Are you down there with me, Ichabod? I thought you were.
when you tell me about it later, I'm gonna say I don't really like that, and I think Blaznir should burn it all to a crisp.
I mean, I'm just researching and journaling what I see. I'm not making any judgments on it.
I think if we discover it's bad, I definitely will burn it. Until then, though. Yeah.
Well, what this root thing is that's coming out of the ceiling, it definitely seems to be enhancing life and enhancing
bad.
The growth. That's for sure.
It's bad for sure. You know how that big beholder loved it? That means it's bad.
Do you just want me to burn it?
Yes.
Because we can put it to a vote, honestly.
The beholder loved it.
As long as I got the information I need, I don't care.
Was he in love with it?
Well, Edmund said that there was somebody from the Magisterium coming to investigate it, So I would like to request of Edmund that he keep me well informed on the process of that investigation as one of his advisors, and as somebody who would like to figure out how to destroy this, and maybe dream seeds as well.
Yeah, if you go back and talk to Edmund about this after Kaya explained what she's been doing all day, he will tell you, he'll keep you informed. He was planning on it. He figures that the wizards would have a better grasp of what this thing is than...
And I also would recommend that he put more than 3 guards down there.
How many guards should I put down? We have to protect the city as well.
They only have so many.
Well, at least double it, so there's 6.
Edmund does agree and agrees to send more guards down there for the next shift. Over the course of the day, also, I was going to say, you do, Ichabod, as you leave Edmund and go down to the main level, you can find Grant and Flintwhistle in the library.
I roll my eyes, and I tell Corin.
Well, you said you wanted to be first.
Did I? I don't recall saying that, but I guess I won't argue with you. Ugh. All right, fine.
This is the guy who's... This is the interrogator, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, I'm doing my enhance ability on all of us now.
Give it to me, Blaznir. Alright.
So we all have advantage on... Or us 3 have advantage on charisma.
Am I being
checks.
interrogated too, or no?
Well, you said you're spending your day down below, so that's what you're doing. This is about the same time.
You said his name was Granton Flintwhistle?
Yeah,
Yes.
Granton Flintwhistle was the name of the artificer who...
Okay.
And when you go downstairs and look through those double doors, you do see him sitting at a table, writing notes in a notebook, and he has a strange sort of thing, metallic-looking thing, sitting on the table next to him. It's small. It's probably about the size of like a softball, I would say, if you knew what softball was. But it has large, spindly little spikes coming out of it at odd angles, and it seems to just be like perched upward, like these metallic-looking legs and spindles just kind of like go up, jut up and down, and is just sitting there in a crouch on the table next to him.
Granton Flintwhistle, pleasure to see you again. I'm Ichabod Sykes, servant of the Father.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, we were expecting that perhaps you would be coming to interview us, so we took it upon ourselves to come and find you.
Oh, well, yeah, yes, excellent. Welcome back to Coltrast, I suppose. I hope your journey was profitable.
Oh, I still have a black eye.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just fine. In fact, very hospitable.
Right.
Now, I do have business in the coming days, so I was hoping we could just get it out of the way, and you can ask me what questions you were thinking, and I could provide you with the answers that I might have.
Sure, absolutely. Please, come on in, have a seat. This won't take too much up of your day. And
I sure hope it won't, sir.
He closes that book and pulls out another book and sets it down and places a quill up right there on top of it. And he's you walk over and sit down in front of the table opposite him.
And I take my hat off and put it on the table. Respectfully.
Now then, had about a week to speak with everybody here in Coltrast. Lord Edmund is quite an astute young man and has told me a lot about his time with your group when he met Mr. Hawthorne in North Emia, and a little bit about the times there. What would you say was your first encounter with Mr. Hawthorne?
Well, in fact, I think I met the whole Debauchery Circus in an inn of sorts. I had just arrived to North Amia. I'm a traveler from a far-off land, so wasn't too familiar with the country myself, and I overheard them speaking of undeads, and I took it upon myself to engage them in a conversation.
Indeed, and you spent some time traveling with them back on a mission and then to North Amia again. If I'm reading this right, it was a mission for the king.
Yes, it was something that they had to do. I guess they'd run into some trouble or whatever and became indebted to the king and had to go do some research for him. That was the one, that was that town that had all the undead unleashed upon it, right?
No, that was when you fought the Froghemoth.
Oh, yeah. Froghemoth.
I will say, me and Cameron came in, I don't know Cameron's reasons for joining the party at this time, but it was more of the rest of the party that was indebted into the king than Cameron.
Yeah, but Ichabod doesn't really know. He just knew that
yes, that's why I'm jumping in.
Yeah,
so, for the audience, for anybody who may be watching, I'm not a reliable narrator of this story.
But the dwarf says, now when you returned to North Amia from your excursion in the Duergar mines, we have report that Mr. Hawthorne left that evening on some business. Can any of you two tell me anything about that?
I'm quite a stoic man myself, and Mr. Hawthorne was quite secretive in his way, and I never really took it upon myself to learn more about him. You see, at this time, I hardly really knew much about any of them. It was more so going along with just Sir Edmund Coltrast, so I can't say I really know what he was up to or what his motivations were.
Now, you're actually being kind of truthful. Or
yeah.
How much? Because you really didn't know a whole lot about what Cameron was doing.
Yeah, and I didn't give a shit either.
Yeah, you really didn't. So, I'm going to say go ahead and make a persuasion check.
All right. I will make.
You get an advantage for being truthful?
Well, I get an advantage because I have the...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's a nat 20, 24.
Okay.
I tap my fingers so I look really impatient, like I'm just trying to get it all out and get out of here.
And then he looks over to you, Blaznir, after making a couple notes in the journal, and he says, "How about you? What do you know? What do you know about Cameron's activities that evening?"
I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember that happening.
Are you saying that in character or out of character?
A little bit of both.
Well, if you want me to remind you, this is what we're referring to as the time that you, Blaznir, Willow, and Cameron snuck into the Institute Arcanum so that Cameron could steal things from his master's office and find like clues as to what he was doing and where he went.
Oh, that's the day. Oh.
Yeah. So Blaznir, you 100% snuck into the Institute Arcanum. You dressed, you changed your form a couple times, but you weren't always like that.
Right.
And you were spotted at one point.
Well, then I will instead say, brain is not working. Brain's actually not working. I had something.
Blaznir, are you there? He's standing there, like blank-eyed.
Sorry, we were doing a bit of shopping and we needed some material components for spells and for the next adventure, and we're just running low.
Well, from you, I need a deception check.
Yep. 25.
Not bad.
Hell yeah.
He makes another note and writes it down in his book. He then, the dwarf then begins to describe an individual that had been seen. Very tall man in a few different guises. Once as one of the chief of the guards. Another time you were actually seen in your human form, but it was dark. So the description he gives is a very tall man, long hair, broad shoulders, seen in the vicinity with that was seen not traveling with what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I suppose in association with Corin Hassan. And he looks you up and down and he says, "Now, you do match that description. You can't deny this fact. So what can you give me? Can you give me an account of what you were doing on that evening in question?"
It's a very vague description.
First I can say that I can point down the street and find someone who's tall and has long hair. Like, there's so many people that fit just that basic description. But more specifically, what I was doing that night was, again, I went to find some shops to find, and I pull out one of my actual spell components for Summon Beast, and I would just show it to him. I was looking for this. It's quite hard to find, but eventually found it and can improve my capabilities just a bit more.
And then he looks at you, Ichabod, and he says, "And you also are somewhat tall and broad-shouldered. And where were you that night?"
I try to remember back to what I was actually doing on that night, which I don't really have. I think was that the night that I went to the church and asked about my wife?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
Well, as you can tell, I'm a holy man, so I spent that night in the local temple in North Amia, and I'm sure if you ask the priest, he can attest to that fact, if he remembers me. It was the only night that I was there, so.
Okay. One last persuasion check from you, Ichabod. Deception check from you, Blaznir. Let's see how well this guy was believing you.
I didn't roll it with advantage, but I still got a 23. Let me try one more time. There you go. Okay, so 23.
Yeah, still pretty good rolls.
Are we about done here?
The dwarf makes another couple notes in his journal, and he says, "Yeah, I think that just about covers it. You both seem fairly honest individuals. Thank you for your cooperation."
Sir. Now, actually, I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh.
He kind of raises an eyebrow. What can I do for you?
So I'm not sure how much you're allowed to share about an active investigation, but like I said, Cameron was always quite secretive. What is it exactly that he might have done against you?
Yeah, go ahead and make your last persuasion check.
Sure. With advantage. That's a 14.
Eesh.
Yeah, that one's not as good.
You do have inspiration.
You do have inspiration if you want to.
How much time we got left? An hour? No, I'll save it. Just curious, you know.
One second. Yeah, he rolled a 5. So,
wow.
Nice.
So, Granton looks over to you and he says, Well, to be honest, we're not entirely sure what it was that he was doing there. He broke into his master's laboratory and seemed to be rooting around in it. There's some damage in the room. There was a bookshelf that was smashed to be honest, we're really not quite sure what the hell he was doing in there.
See, was his master particularly upset by this when he came back?
His master has been missing for quite a long time, to be honest.
Oh, missing.
Cameron had actually requested to search the room earlier that day, so we assume he didn't find whatever he was looking for when he was being observed by the captain of the guards and came back to look for something else.
See, and I presume that you're an investigator, right? Y'all are having an investigation after this master disappearance, right?
He nods and he says, "Oh yeah. We've been looking for Master Brightscale for quite some time. He was the leading expert on chronergy magic." And what's that?
I said, I see. Y'all come upon any leads?
He kind of gives you a bit of a raised look. He's like, "Oh,
it's just a juicy dinner table conversation, you know?"
Well, I suppose I might as well tell you as if I have to tell anybody. I'm actually going to be leaving Coltrast here in about 2 days. Once I wrap up my investigation here, there has actually been a sighting of Master Brightscale. I'm being sent from here because I'm the closest operative to see if I can locate him.
Well, that's super interesting, sir. I'm glad to hear that you're getting put on such an important mission. I look at Corin, because it would be weird for me to ask what town it is.
Fair.
Where's Corin in all this? What's Corin been up to?
I don't know. I was gonna see, I guess, ask Edmund if he's gonna start reopening trade routes soon. Didn't they used to do shipments of ore and such from here?
Yeah, they did, and Edmund has actually been working on that a little bit. The first focus of his reign was getting the town back in order and actually start feeding the people. And as he was reaching out to buy foodstuffs, what he could, that's when he started making contacts to reestablish the mines and start getting the town flourishing again.
Gotcha. Cool.
There is also talk of building more farms, since a lot of the land around Coltrast has been stripped of forest.
Mm-hmm.
To start turning that into pasture land or farmland, things of that nature.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would definitely mention to him that it would probably be best to seek the advice of Blaznir on that account, or at least someone with expertise in that sort of area, so that, you know, you can get the maximum benefit without potentially choking the land or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He does agree that that's probably a smart move, and he'll talk to Blaznir later on after he's done with his interview about helping to, use his magic to help bolster the land.
Yeah, and then as I walk out to go find this dwarf guy, I'll just look back at him and go, "Very proud of you, Edmund. You've shouldered a mighty burden and are taking it on as best you can."
Edmund definitely has some pride in his eyes when you say that, and he gives you a big grin, and he hugs you and whispers in your ear, "Thank you again, Corin," and he says your name significantly.
Yeah. I get to be more of a dad to Edmund today than Ichabod did.
It's because Ichabod doesn't know that he should say, "I'm proud of you, son."
Yep.
That's too much emotion for me.
Yeah. But yes, I'll, after I ask him that, I'll just walk off and go find the Inquisitor.
Okay.
I want to make sure there's at least one other person in the party around me when I'm being interviewed, and if I can, interrupt him
Assume
or
that you were here with us.
throw off his game or whatever, sure.
Well, Willow's around too, and during this time, that's probably when Willow talks to him about making her hidden blade thingy that she wanted. And,
Well, I guess if we're coming passing interviews, I do want to let Corin know that his master's been sighted somewhere nearby Coltrast, and that this guy's gonna be going there next in the next couple of days. That's all the information I could get. It's all up to you now.
Better than nothing. But no, I assumed that you would sit in on all the interviews, as you are the de facto Paris familia of the Debauchery Circus, as it were.
I think I raise an eyebrow and then look longingly at the door because this is very boring, but also I'm very I like to be in a position of authority, so since he said that, I'll stay.
Ichabod,
No matter...
I can take over for that if you want, Ichabod.
No, it's fine, Blaznir. I've got it.
Okay.
I was going to say,
You
no matter...
just look incredibly bored.
No matter how the individual members of the circus feel, I think we all pretty much recognize that Ichabod is the dad.
No, he's made it clear that he needs me to be here. And if you want something right, do it yourself. That's what I always say. So I sit down.
Yeah, but okay,
Yes, I would much rather be out riding my horse around in the fields.
You may
enjoying
I'm
the
saying you can
solitude.
do that.
You may also
that's
stay
fine.
if you wish, Blaznir.
I'm not gonna if I don't have to, honestly.
Blaznir, power to you, sir. I salute Blaznir.
You're a fool, Ichabod. Alright. And I just
That's
walk out.
something I've never been called before, but okay.
okay. Well,
Right now I supervise. I sit straighter in my chair this time.
yeah, you sit straighter in this chair, and Blaznir goes off to talk to Edmund. And Edmund does talk to you about what Corin suggested, that you can use your spell. It's like a super long ritual, but once it's complete, it fortifies the land or something like that. You know what I'm talking about, Blaznir?
Yeah.
You used the spell once before.
This one.
Not even just that, although that would be useful. It's also just how much water do we have? How much, farmland can we actually support?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Plants yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he kind of starts coordinating with you because you got a couple days before you're going to be leaving for Rowena anyway. So over the course of those couple days, he works with you to start sectioning off areas of land that were all the trees were fell to build the wall around Coltrast when they were gone. All that land is prime real estate right now around Coltrast that can be used. So he's going to talk to you about setting up pastures and farm and you using your druidic magic to start helping the land.
You're going to build a wall around Coltrast Keep. The orcs are going to pay for it.
Well, there already was a wall built around there, and the orcs got past it, so...
Yeah. I'm being silly.
But anyway, with Ichabod sitting there next to you, Corin, and Corin, I imagine, kind of leaning against Ichabod for support. He more asks you questions about how well you knew Cameron, if at all. If if you had ever spoken about his master, Master Brightscale, and if he had recently come across any objects that he maybe seemed guarded over.
I'll just tell him that I have never actually spoken to Cameron, because I don't talk to myself. And I'm not certain exactly what you mean, but I do know that he was dealing with chronergy magic, which, to my knowledge, can be a very fickle and dangerous thing.
Indeed, it was, and a lot of his experimentations went beyond the scope of traditional magic, which is why the Magisterium is so concerned to find him. He was always a little, and he kind of gives the cuckoo, cuckoo expression.
My eyes betray nothing because I'm like, yeah, kind of. Well, hopefully that wouldn't be an issue anymore, considering that Cameron Hawthorne was disintegrated by a beholder, but perhaps...
Truly tragic it was.
His... you said you were looking for his master. Perhaps he could give you some indication of what the two were up to?
Well, that's, I suppose, my hope.
Yeah.
Really, the reason I was looking for Cameron was because he broke into the Magisterium, and that's a pretty big offense for, or not the Magisterium, he broke into the Twisting Spires, the Institute Arcanum. And that's a pretty big no-no for a member of the Magisterium. So...
Wait, if he was a member, then how could he break in? If he was allowed access?
Well, he wasn't allowed access into this particular room at this particular time. He was given access and then chose to break into it later.
Did you say you were going to Misthold, or was it Dusk Hollow?
The dwarf kind of gives you a weird...
I'm trying to pull a fast one on him and pretend like he mentioned it before.
Okay, give me a deception check.
Okay. I still get advantage? I imagine still within that hour?
Yes.
Yep.
Nat 20 again! Yes.
Nice.
24! I just pretend like and then maybe he'll correct me if I'm wrong on both of them.
Yeah, well, you are definitely wrong. And he says, "Oh no, I'm not going there. I'm actually heading to Ravancia."
Oh yeah, Ravancia. That's right. I look at Corin and raise my eyebrow.
Well,
go ahead and make a history check. For those of you who are students, you wouldn't know anything, Ichabod, but Corin, you can actually make a history check.
27. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the name Rowena does mean something to you. It is
Rowena or Ravancia?
Sorry, Ravancia. Too many. There's a lot of R names in my world, which was completely accidental. But there are a lot of them. Ravancia, that name does ring a bell. It is the capital city of the Kingdom of Hyrulean, which is the far eastern kingdom on Loroupa.
Yes, the capital of the Kingdom of Hyrulean.
He nods and says, "Yeah, one of our wizards was in Ravancia and reported seeing a man that looks like Master Brightscale. So I'm going to be heading there to see if I can run down any rumors of him."
Interesting. Well,
Mr. Flintwhistle, I wish you the best of luck in your time in Ravancia, and I hope it's more hospitable than where was I at? Florina? No, Port Suliard.
Port Suliard.
Yes, hopefully you shall find what you were searching for.
Well, that is the only hope.
Now, I do got another question for you, actually.
He's like, yes, absolutely.
It's clear you're like an inventor of sort, like a real brainy guy. Do y'all people like you tend to spar much? Y'all tend to get in any scuffles? Good scrap?
I mean, I know how to protect myself if I need to, but I don't go looking for trouble.
Alright, I see. I look at him.
You just kind of get why do you ask?
It's just my experience, and the brainy ones tend to try to avoid fights like that,
He just shrugs his shoulders, and you can see that he does have some interesting-looking gauntlets on his wrists. He does have a hammer at his waist. He's pretty well loaded up.
Yeah, you've got a pretty cool hammer there. I was just wondering if you ever, use it. Or if you ever like to spar, man to man, in a little friendly scrap.
he more is like not really.
Well, that's fair enough. That's all right. We'll just be taking our leave.
I mean, if you really want to try to convince him to fight, I'll allow you to roll a persuasion check.
Well, if he's not going to be interested, then what's the fun in that? If he was like a big, cool, burly guy who was like, "Yeah, I'm good for a test of metal anytime."
Then I mean, have that spell compel duel.
I could compel him to duel with me, but I'm not going to.
I mean,
I'm here looking for a friendly contest. Listen.
When Ichabod starts talking about fighting and sparring, I'm just going to sort of look disinterested and use that as my opportunity to try and walk off.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a stealth
check.
Sure. 22.
I start going deep into the history of working your muscles and how it's like good for your brain to have a friendly spar, and it's like good to stay in action. You never want to get rusty and stuff. And then he disappears. Okay,
and then you look around and Corin is just straight up gone, and they're both he and you both are like, what the hell? But honestly, this guy is not really made to fight. He will absolutely if you want to try to provoke him into one, but
I'm not trying to I was trying to keep it friendly.
Okay.
Oh God. Since they don't know anything about them because their country is so hidden, maybe the normal folks think of elves like Batman, very secretive and mysterious. Just
where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Yeah, he's just doing his elf thing.
Yeah, elves be doing that.
Yeah, but I imagine Blaznir is coming back downstairs from his meeting with Edmund, and I think I heard him yelling, "Hey, I'll fight you!"
Yeah, do you just want to spar?
That fits with my bond for Blaznir because it says with guidance he'd make a good soldier.
Yeah, if you two want to go out and spar, you can.
Yeah, we go out into because you said you updated that map. I wanted to have some dummies out there and stuff, so we go out there. We have a nice little sparring match because I'm going to teach him how to use that sword. So hesitant to use your sword all the time.
Okay, well,
we are using weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were using weapons.
What were you thinking? You're just going to blast me with a fireball? That's not how this works.
I was just going to punch you. Wouldn't do any damage.
Just blunted swords, or sticks.
Alright, sure.
I'm not really a fist on fist kind of guy, I'm more skilled with.
No, I'm not either. I just didn't want to cut you.
No, we got blunt edge dummy swords. So
we both have healing anyway. It doesn't matter.
It's true. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
1 second.
I mean, yeah.
If you can even hit me.
Admit it.
If you can even hit me, so I doubt it. And I spend a lot of time just correcting Blaznir's stance and the way he holds his sword. Now, you look like a little girl the way you hold that sword.
Is that sexism? Can't tell.
Probably.
So,
Like it could just be like, you know, like a little kid, but you had to specifically add girl in it, so it's probably sexism. Like,
oh, this is not the time where we're talking about my choice of language. All right, this is the time where we're talking about how you hold a sword like a little.
I'm just saying, you know, like more gender neutral things would work.
Put your fist around it. Not clench it.
As Corin is just sitting there thinking that he outdated Ichabod when he's going to spend the entire day fishing with Edmund tomorrow, and all I had to do is talk to him for a little bit and tell him I was proud of him.
I'll spend the whole day fishing with Edmund, and we won't say like more than 2 words.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I 100%
That's what it is
imagine
to be a religious fundamentalist father.
Well, sure enough, you make it back down to the big top, your mansion here in Coltrast. Work has definitely been done since you're gone, and you now have this really cool sparring area in the back.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Complete with a big old sandy area, several dummies and training things. There's a stable over there for your horses. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. You want to actually, you know, let's roll some dice. Yeah.
I'll roll some dice.
Yeah, okay. So the two of you go out into the middle of the training area. There has been some sparring weapons that's been delivered since then. So why don't you both go ahead and roll for initiative?
You go slightly first. By 0.01, go first.
Hey.
Corin, you gonna watch this?
Sure, but aren't you worried about all of your clothing getting dirty?
I'm not worried about my +1 plate mail getting dirty, no.
I have prestidigitation anyway, so, you know.
Yes, Blaznir, but your precious clothing could get dirty. Perhaps if you were shirtless, it would be better.
I'm not getting shirtless for you.
We're shirtless.
You're both shirtless?
We're shirtless.
I'm not shirtless.
Still using my plate. Alright. For flavor, we're shirtless.
Okay, well,
Except for Blaznir.
the two of you grab your sparring weapons, you go into the middle of the ring, you square off, you got your weapons ready. Blaznir, you're the first one to act. Let's see what you're going to do.
Sure. Alright, no magic at all, I'm guessing.
Show me what you can do. You can use magic if it bolsters the impact of your weapon.
Oh. Alright.
Don't blast me with a fireball. That's cheating.
Not gonna blast you with a fireball, I don't have very many melee things that help me with
Try to
melee.
go easy on you, Blaznir, if it makes you feel better.
Hey, Matt.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up. Well, actually, I'm going to cast a spell and then condense it into a bead and then walk up to Ichabod and give him a kiss on the cheek and say for luck while I slip the bead into his hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
I put it in my pocket.
I have 27 perception, so, you know.
Sure.
He sees it happen.
Yeah.
I whisper.
Would that be sleight of hand or stealth?
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check, Corin.
Yeah, he totally sees.
I look at Blaznir and I go, "Don't worry, that'd be cheating. I won't do it. That's cheating."
Alright. So, we square off, and
I put your benches on the map.
Yeah, I want to have one long rod in one hand and one short rod in the other hand.
Okay, you can do that. These are just going to be D6 weapons. They're,
D6?
You're going to use your attack roll and your proficiency for these, but they're basically just clubs.
So, are they dexterity-based or strength-based?
For you, whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, dexterity. Alright. Let's do... Alright, so... I'm gonna, as a bonus action, snap my fingers, and you see my skin just start turning barky. Just and I look like I just kind of look a bit more like wood, and I'm casting Guardian of Nature on myself.
Damn.
Nice.
So
Cool.
I get 10 temporary HP.
Is that cheating?
You said anything
No,
that
not technically. He
bolsters.
said I can use spells.
That's fine. That's fine.
So.
I don't allow it.
You never said that you couldn't use spells either, Ichabod, so...
I know
that's
now.
nice.
I'm thinking about it.
So, yeah, you get tree bark all over your body. That's kind of cool. You get extra, extra force damage on your hits. That's pretty cool.
No, that's I'm using the tree ability, so I get.
Well, it says that no matter
temporary
what.
No, it's...
Oh, wait a minute. No, Primal Beast. I see it
Yeah,
now.
it's
No,
Beast or Tree.
Yeah.
Beast or
You gain
Tree.
10
Okay.
temporary hit points. You make Constitution saving throws with disadvantage. You make Dexterity and Wisdom-based attack rolls with advantage.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yep.
I like it.
So Blaznir gave himself wood. Got it.
And the ground
Yeah.
within 50 feet is difficult terrain.
First time for everything. Anyway,
Alright, let's see what you got, Blaznir. See if you can hit me.
Gonna rush forward, and I'm gonna make my attack with advantage. So, 22.
22 just hits.
Nice.
Just hits.
Oh. Oh. I'm guessing plus my dexterity, so 4
Yep.
damage.
Plus, you get that. Oh, wait a minute, never mind. You don't get that. So, yeah, 6 points of damage.
Alright. Is that my turn? You done, Blaze?
No.
Not done?
I'm backing up.
I mean, that's provoking an attack of opportunity.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna hit you with my attack opportunity. I'm just gonna roll straight.
That's fine.
16. Oops, that was saving throw because I get my proficiency, so that's
Yeah,
okay, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
You hit.
I hit you for a D6 plus 3. 9.
Oh, ow.
9 points of damage.
See,
Yeah, you
this is your
smash it.
first lesson, Blaznir. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch all your open
It,
spots. Try to retreat.
It just
Hey, You
tapped.
left the battlefield. You left the battlefield, Blaznir. Get back in here. Blaznir, you're outside the line.
Just
Okay,
eating a
fine.
piece of fruit and
Okay,
feeding
so-
small bits to my familiar while I notice that it's suddenly getting warmer outside.
So, I guess,
Uh,
since I had a 22 AC, I have to have a shield. So, I'll just have my one. Okay. So I'm gonna. That's difficult terrain, right? 5, 10, 15. I can
That
speed
is
up.
difficult terrain. That's why I was trying to get a little further.
I am gonna hit you twice with my club.
Twice. Oh, right. Yeah.
17 and a 23. 3 plus 3 is 6. Hit another 9. And then as a bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith upon myself, which increases my AC by 2. And you have to roll a 24 to hit.
Oh.
Alright, Blaznir, I made it easy for you the first time to hit me, but this time I'm going to step it up a notch. So let's see if you can get through this.
My spell fades. I think. No, wait. Oh, 10. Never mind.
I was
No,
gonna
you're good.
say,
Yeah, no.
But you do have to
Alright.
roll that for each hit.
Oh, yeah, I do. I'm
Here, what's
fine.
all this wood you put on the wrestling
you're
mat?
Yep, you're good.
It's just like wood
Alright.
everywhere in the sand pit. I'm tripping over it.
Yes, it's one of the things I've more recently done. Ooh.
Alright,
So what are you
Alright.
doing?
I'm
It's your
ready.
turn.
give it to me.
Yeah, I don't like this. So,
Come on, Blaznir, you're doing great. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna pull a firefly off my shoulder, just kind of crush it while snapping, and cast Fire Shield on myself. And that's gonna be a, it's gonna do fire damage, so a warm shield.
Shield grants you resistance to cold damage. Whenever a creature within 5 feet hits with melee attack, the shield erupts with flame, and I take fire damage.
Yep.
Oh, come on, Blaznir. I thought you were gonna hit me with your sword. That's the whole point. Fine.
I mean,
And-
you both got shields up now.
Yeah, we got shields. All right, Blaznir.
And for my bonus action, do I have a bonus action?
You can give me bardic inspiration.
Aw,
I don't have a cantrip that can help me, so that doesn't. Yeah, no, I don't have a bonus action, so I'm just gonna stand put, put my shield in front of me, and pray.
Fair enough.
All right, Blaznir, I ain't gonna go easy on you. And I'm gonna hit him twice.
That's kind of the problem.
The first one is a 9. I'll use
No.
my inspiration.
What? Why?
Well, still don't hit.
No.
No, but once you make that attack, the shield erupts in flames. So go ahead and
Whenever it hits
That's-
you with a melee attack.
Yeah, whenever it hits
whenever
me.
it hits you. Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought it said whenever you
That's what it
attack you.
says.
Oh darn.
I mean, I can do the damage if you want me to.
Nah, that's.
man. If only
Oh,
I had the
why am I pressing all the wrong buttons?
I don't know. Go ahead and make your second attack.
Okay, 20 on the second one. And
20.
Just barely.
I'm gonna expend a superiority dice to try to trip him.
I like it.
Alright. Well, you take 7 damage.
I take 7 damage. Ow! Is that what you want? Okay, you need to make
Yeah.
a DC 15 strength saving throw.
Strength save.
Yep.
No.
So I whack your legs up and they fly out from underneath you. And you're also going to take an extra 8. So 7 more damage.
7 more damage. Nice.
And I also didn't roll my damage for the first one.
No, you didn't.
So 6 plus 7. And then I'm going to action surge.
Right.
And I'm going to
Please
hit you
don't.
more. The 13 on the first one. 26 on the next one.
Apparently.
Yeah.
4 fire damage.
More fire damage for me. Ow! Will you come out? And I got this spell going, and it's a concentration spell. So yeah, you're
You
laying
gotta
on the
roll
ground.
that twice.
Man, Matt, it's
Concentration.
times like this I wish I had detect thoughts.
Ichabod, you need to roll concentration twice.
Oh yeah, you're right. So Constitution saving throw
I'm fine.
20,
You're good.
16.
Yep, you're both good.
So I still have a 24. All right, so now you're on the ground, and I'm like, Blaznir, get up.
You know, I'm not really a melee fighter for this reason.
Well, I thought we were making a good show of it. You know, that flame
Yeah,
shield. That's interesting.
so
You've been burning my
I'm gonna.
wrist.
You see a middle finger appear from beneath the shield.
All right, that's
And-
correct. This is
and,
friendly.
We both erupt in flame as I summon my friend, my Cayenne.
Fireballs.
So, nope, not fireball, just summoning someone because I don't like this.
Well, you can call in an ally. All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
I guess I'll allow it.
So,
So
I need
you-
you to make a dex save.
Okay. I was a nat 2026.
Fail.
Come on, feet.
Yeah, Ichabod just dives out of the way as Kyan poofs
Yeah, I
into
do
existence.
a nice tuck and roll and go,
Yeah.
yeah, I expected that much of you.
Yeah. And I'm gonna bonus action command him to teleport me away from this. So both me and Cayenne go to the other side of the field. 5, 10, 15. No, we go to here. And you need to make.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, you need to make another dex save.
Another dex save as you explode
That
into
one.
existence from a fireball.
Ah!
Yeah. So you take 3 plus 4, I believe. Yeah. So
So 7 more points
7
of
damage.
fire damage.
I'm thoroughly singed. Okay, so I fall forward from your big explosion. I said no fireballs. And while I'm down on the ground, I want to try to
It's
sneakily.
still my turn.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm standing up and moving over here.
Okay, fair enough. I want to try to, while I'm facing the other way from Blaznir, I want to try to sneakily eat the bead that Corin
Eat the
gave.
bead. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check.
I'm not very good at that. Ooh, 21.
21. Yeah. So for
Is that my passive perception?
Yeah, I would say so. Your passive.
Yeah, my passive is 24.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, as you're standing up, you do notice that Ichabod, laying down, has put his hand up and ate this bead that Corin gave him.
All right.
I roll my eyes and
I don't even know what the bead does.
I don't think you're supposed to eat it, but if you say it works, then great.
It activates it. What does it do?
What does
Haste.
this do? So
It's a
you
haste
bite.
spell.
Okay,
haste?
so you bite down on it, and as you bite down, you just feel this magic surging into your body, and you have the haste spell.
Okay.
Now, does that override her concentration on the
Yes.
Shield of Faith? I think so.
Okay, because I was gonna say it gives me a +2 bonus, so I would have an AC of 26. That would be ridiculous. Okay, so
No,
I'm still at
it's
24.
concentration.
I have advantage on dex saves, and I gain an additional action on each of my turns. I imagine even on this turn.
As far as I know,
Yeah, my turn wouldn't be over. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
you still have your action and your movement.
Okay.
no, it's an action to
This is
use the
my-
bead.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's
I
an
get
action
an
to
extra
use it?
action because of haste.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I wanna. Let's see. I don't know how much movement I have.
But you can only attack with a weapon once. The action that you can do with it is
Yeah.
attack,
to hit them once.
dash, disengage, hide, or use an object in action.
Okay, I want to walk towards Blaznir. It's not difficult terrain no more. And I want to whack him with my stick.
Okay, whack
Well,
him
it's
with
still
your stick.
difficult
Just
terrain.
once.
Unless-
Is it? No, you lost it, right? Oh no, you.
No, I didn't lose it yet.
Oh, okay, so it's still difficult terrain. I was right here, so I can still get to you.
Yeah, you can still get to me, but
I hit you once. 19.
Yeah.
All right. 4.
Don't forget to roll your damage for the fire shield, Blaznir.
And I take
yeah.
fire damage. Ow!
you do, and you take a bit more because of Cayenne. So,
Ah!
what was it?
2d8.
Sorry, is it D8?
Yeah, 2d8.
So you take 3d8 because of Cayenne. So 10 damage.
Nice.
Do believe I'm getting
That shield just
the-
explodes again, blasting you back with more fire damage.
As a bonus action, I second wind.
You use your bonus action. Or, well, no,
It
never
was an
mind.
action
Never
that could
mind.
be-
Yeah, never
yeah.
mind. You got your bonus.
So second wind gives me, I forget. It's like
D10 plus your fighter level.
yeah,
I think.
D10 plus fighter level. So D10 plus 4. 10, 7 plus 4, I gain 11.
Okay, got 11 temporary hit points.
Well, Blaznir, you almost took a third of me.
You know, I'm beginning to believe this isn't a fair fight.
I think it's quite fair. Look at me, I'm singed.
Well, I mean, from the start, like, before I started to cheat.
Well, I guess any rules allowed now. There ain't no cheating no more.
No cheating?
No
At all?
Well, okay, never mind. I'm gonna take that back.
Nope.
Everything we've done so far is quite legal. All right, your turn.
What are you doing, Blaznir?
I used up all my... Did I? Yeah, I did use up my... On, enhance ability, although I think that was only on 2 people, not 3. Because, Corin wasn't around, and I've banged that the entire time, because Corin wasn't around, so I only would have been able to cast on 2 people, so I used a 3rd level slot for that, didn't I?
What are you doing, Corin?
Or Blaze.
Blaznir.
Or Blaznir? What are you doing, Blaznir?
All right, if there's no cheating anymore.
Blaznir, now you calm down now. It's just a friendly bout. Let's not lose our focus, all right? We're friends.
I just look at Blaznir and go, just try not to destroy our house.
No, don't worry. It's I'm not casting a fireball. I'm gonna pull out a little a vial that I just bought recently, and just do a little bit of motion. And behind you,
I hope we
I'm
don't
gonna
get
cast some. I'm gonna cast summon elemental.
What? Alright, now you got 2 allies! 2 allies on the field here! And this is a 3v1.
This is what I do. This is what I do.
You know what? Give me it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Which elemental spirit are you summoning?
Fire, of course.
Jesus
Like-
Christ. Is it right in the
Yeah.
space behind me?
Yeah, right behind you.
I can deal with that.
Can you?
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
since it says I can create a harmless sensory effect like a puff of wind, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to give Ichabod a little puff of wind to cool him off.
Yeah, I'm starting to sweat. I'm getting nervous.
Starting to?
Yeah, it's getting real hot in here.
Corin is not complaining by any means.
Alright, so,
Well, there's your elemental spirit. You should be able to use it now.
yep.
Give it to me.
Alright, so, if I'm reading this right, yeah, no, it obeys my verbal commands. No action required by me.
Cool.
So, I'm going to tell it, go wild, buddy.
Cool.
And, yeah.
What,
And,
what level did you cast the spell, by the way?
4th.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know that drops concentration on your bark, right?
Bark is
Yeah, it was doing nothing for me.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like, it was just 10 temporary hit points, and then
That's fair.
so, yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna just kind of, the little flame is just gonna just make its attack. Makes
Looks like it makes
2 attacks
2.
on
Yeah.
you. Yep.
We got
And,
hit before.
so, that's a d20 plus my my spell attack modifier, so plus 10. So 20 probably doesn't hit. 29 definitely hits. And 1d4 plus 8, or 1d10 plus 8. What am I doing? 1d10 plus 8. So that's 17. Plus, I do have a question. Since it's my spell doing fire damage, do I get my added bonus with Kyan out? DM?
Yeah. How is the how is Kyan's thing worded?
Where is it? Respond. Whenever you cast it. No, it's whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage. But
So there you go.
I mean, technically, it's dealing fire
It doesn't
damage.
directly deal fire damage, so
Summon something
Yeah.
that deals fire damage.
Yeah. You didn't cast a spell that does fire damage. You summoned a creature, and just it happens to do that. So no, I would say it does not affect it.
All right.
Alright. And a bonus action. Kyan is gonna. Let's see. Kyan is going to just shift away back here. If you want to take attack opportunity on him.
Nah, I'm gonna save it for you, Blaznir.
Yeah. So he's gonna just kind of puff up a bit and shoot a little flame seed at you. So that probably doesn't hit.
Nope. Are you done?
Yeah, that's it.
You don't,
Okay.
you don't have No, I mean, yeah, I suppose that would be action, bonus action, and
Yeah,
everything.
action,
Okay.
bonus action.
So yeah, in that
Elemental spirit.
round, Blaznir summoned a fire elemental that
It's gone off the rails.
beat you down, and yeah, that's what happened. So Ichabod, your turn. What you doing?
Well, despite the fire elemental, my eyes do not leave Blaznir, and I'm gonna hit him.
We got a first-time viewer, smirking all day, who's saying hi, hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, we're fighting each other. 16.
Yeah.
I'm gonna expend another superiority die to try to trip you.
No.
So
Oh.
9.
Natural 20.
Nice. Okay, so you did not get tripped, but you still take an additional D8. 6. So that's what total? 15. 15 total.
All right. Time save is good.
Attack. I'm gonna hit you. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you again. 23.
Yeah.
And this time I'm gonna smite you. The holy wrath of God. If you don't mind. That's an additional 8 radiant damage.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. Right?
Radiant damage.
Don't forget to roll your damage from the stick you're wielding.
Yeah, let me get my stick damage. That's 4 from the stick.
So 20
right,
points of damage from that right there.
Alright, I still got a third attack.
Yes, you
Thank
do.
you.
No, please.
I do believe I'm getting.
That's only an 11, but
That does not hit.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon forth a spiritual weapon. Well, you summoned an ally. Can I summon? It's not concentration. It's
Okay,
not
it's not
concentration.
concentration, then yeah, you're good.
And then I'm gonna hit you with my spiritual weapon. Oh, it's only a 12.
Yeah, those don't hit anyway. Oh, you also take damage from my shield.
Yes,
So
It's
Oh
good.
yeah, that's true.
That
Don't
was,
forget to
what,
roll
2
your
hits?
damage.
And then I'd say, "Do you yield?"
Just one hit.
I thought it was 2 because
Well, yeah, I hit you with a.
Oh, you did hit him twice?
That's 17 and a 23 because I rolled 3 attacks.
so
The 17 is a con saving throw.
The 17. Oh yeah, that's his. You're right. 23.
no, you took you tried to
rolled-
trip me the first time.
Oh yeah.
You tried to trip me,
It was
then
the
you smited
16.
me.
It was the 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I smited.
Do you need to make a con? I think I succeed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I succeed in that.
Yeah, you succeed.
and or half the damage dealt, whichever's higher.
Yeah, and then I shout, "Do you yield?" And I end my turn.
Smirking All Day is asking, what episode is this? This is episode 3 of the second season of the Debauchery Circus. So, we just finished our season 1 not too long ago.
Fighting each other for no reason.
Yep, they're fighting each other for no reason, just sparring a little bit as we close out their downtime from the last adventure. So, Ichabod, he said to you, Blaznir, do you yield? What are you doing?
I put my hand on my chest and say, never. And I'm casting Cure Wounds at 5th level.
Wow.
You son of a bitch!
Well,
So 20. So that's 23 points of healing.
Blaznir, you were a great character. What's your backup there, Maddie?
It was going to be a wizard, but you have a wizard right now, so
That's fair.
I think a sorcerer.
That's your action, right?
That's my action. Bonus action. Kyan's going to shoot at you.
Okay, Smirking All Day asked if they can get the story. So the TLDR is this group started fighting some cultists, a bunch of undead shit. Eventually met a kid that they went to go save and ended up having to kill a beholder. Now they're getting ready to go down to the Margarden Federation, the desert area, to fight in a gladiatory tournament, which they're going to probably be doing that next session.
Yeah,
So,
Right now they're trained in for it.
One of the big things that we've been dealing with is cultists who have learned how to take druidic magic and combine it with necromantic magic to make stronger undead, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, been pretty cool.
Also, a 23 does not hit.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you don't have to brag, alright?
Alright.
Alright, elemental time. because
Come
that's
at me, shitty elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Elemental. You gotta roll a 24 to hit Ichabod right now.
Yep.
Waiting on you, Blaznir.
Oh no, he's gone.
Blaznir, you with us? What happened?
Maybe
has-
his internet kicked out.
Possible.
Though you'd think that would kick him out of the voice chat.
Yeah, he's still in voice.
Corin, is this cheating? This elemental, you think that's cheating, right?
As he's staring at your shirtless, sweaty chest. What? Yeah, yes, whatever you say.
See, that's what I thought.
Smirking all day just followed us, so thanks for following. Love to have you here.
Awesome.
Well, looks like Blaznir's having some technical issues because we lost him. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Willow probably says, "Okay, y'all, Ichabod obviously won. Let's go to bed."
Are you sure? I had some moves I was going to pull out on our next turn. Blaznir hasn't yielded. I just look back and forth.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. It got broke up by our party.
Probably has to get broke up by our party unless Blaznir jumps in here in the next couple moments. But I think we lost him.
Alright.
Oh, there he dropped.
Yep, there he dropped.
Yep.
We'll finish this at a later date, Blaznir. This ain't over.
Yep.
No joke, I was gonna lay on hands myself and give myself 30 HP.
how much hit points did you have left, Ichabod?
I have 27.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But I was gonna give myself 30 HP and then still have an attack left. And my bonus action attack.
That's
Yeah,
true.
y'all were really getting into that.
Yeah, you were.
We can go.
Smirking
go
all
to bed a
day
little
is
later.
asking about the group. Yes, we run 5 players. Blaznir is a human circle of wildfire druid. Corin is a chronomancy wizard. He used to be a rabbit folk, and now he's a high elf. Ichabod is a human paladin, an Oath of Conquest paladin. Kaya is a Way of Mercy monk, and she is a turtle. And Willow is an assassin, an Eldritch Knight, and she is a changeling. But John, her player, is not here today.
I'm also a battle master fighter.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. So I guess we go to bed.
Yeah. Preparations need to be made to travel to Rowena. If you head back up to the keep and kind of do some research there in the library, you can actually find some maps of the area. So I got some for you here.
Sweet. Hey, Ichabod prays before bed, right?
Yep.
Good.
Pray every night so I can wake up in the morning sin free.
Well, we'll get to that in 1 second before that. But if you look on the Dowan Empire map, which I just shared, that I'm going to go ahead and show a little bit of that on camera as well. Down to the south is where you're heading from the Dorwin Empire, which that's the empire to the east of where you all are right now. If you look on the Federation map, you can see that you actually have to travel pretty far south to get to Rowena. Judging based on the journey, and you can just ask the scholars in town. Basically the journey is going to take about 10 days from Coltrast.
Hey Blaznir. Are you back? Oh, he jumped in the chat, but
Jumped in the chat.
well, if you can hear me, our battle got broken up by our party members. So this ain't over.
I was hoping maybe he got back in, but not
Oh, well.
like it.
Moving on.
Yep, moving on. But as I said, it's going to take you a good 10 days or more to get to Rowena from where you are in Coltrast. So you have to think a little bit about how you're going to get there, but the journey is possible. You also have to cross from Radagast, the kingdom that you're currently in, and go into the Margarden Federation. So just kind of look at the maps, figure out how you want to get to Rowena. You do know, because of the dossier that you were given, that the tournament itself starts pretty soon. Let's see. Today is the 24th of Faustgra, so you actually have 6 days to get there, if you want to be there at the very beginning of the tournament. Now, the tournament is a good week-long process, so you don't actually have to be there when it starts. But if you want to be there for the opening festivities, you should be there by the 1st. So if you want to, you got to think about travel time and that sort of thing.
Sounds like it's time for teleportation.
Do you know a teleportation circle, like somewhere that we could get to?
No.
So we get to basically pick what our path is?
Yeah, you have... it's really up to you how you're going to get there, what route you want to take. Are you going to just get on the horses you own and ride all the way there? You have resources and options. It really just depends on how you want to travel. You know your abilities, you know your contacts, so it's up to you.
Yeah, if necessary and we want to get there as early as possible, then we could potentially get Kaya to see if the Enclave has the, I don't know what you call it, codex for a teleportation circle closer that we could go to. But that's up to the party as to what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, would she have to go back to North Amia to talk to them?
We could probably find somebody here who could send like a magical message of some kind. Is
that within our skills?
I don't think I have that spell, but...
Is that possible for us?
You don't have that spell. I don't think Blaznir does either. Blaznir, I sort of kind of heard you.
Oh, he's robot.
Yep, he's robot. We got Jedi Slayer 420 in chat as well. He was telling Smirking All Day that we do have another campaign tonight. We actually run 2 campaigns every Monday, one at 3 p.m. That's the Debauchery Circus right here. And then at 7 p.m. we have our second campaign, the Fab 5 campaign, that starts. So, which... Actually, we're pretty close to the end of this session. It's almost 6 o'clock now. So yeah, just so y'all know, I'm sure you could find somebody in Coltrast who knows the sending spell.
Yeah, so we'll try to get a message out to see if anybody has a teleportation circle closer. Because I don't mind, because I can take my horse with me anywhere. So
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Obviously.
we can resolve that next session. But
what about Ichabod praying?
Oh yeah, before we finish up, Ichabod, you do after your long day of training with Blaznir, running back and forth from Coltrast Keep. Eventually, you are exhausted. It is late in the evening, and you make your way back up to your bedroom. You have things you like to do at the end of the night, every night. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I doff my armor, my plate armor. So I'm in just my normal clothes. And then I would like to take off my shoes and my hat and everything, and go to where I've set up my little prayer station there, my prayer rug, and I open the door. And I think the first thing I see is picture of Cameron, of Corin, that he has had artfully made with little hearts and pasted in my wall. So I think I just stop in my steps and look at it for a second. And I don't know whether I should be really mad that he violated my privacy by coming into my secret room. And I look around to see if anything else has been disturbed.
Nope. I would have been as careful as possible to make sure.
Go ahead and make your investigation check.
Yeah, investigate to see if he's... This is a very private space for me. 11.
You're not sure. You keep looking around, you keep looking, your eyes keep going back to that horrible, horrible painting of Corin. And,
well, I do look at the painting, and but like I said before, Corin has been made quite pretty, like a pretty guy, but nonetheless, this is like, you're in my private space. So I think I would be embarrassed if anybody else were to find this here, so I take it off and roll it up. And put it in, like, maybe put it in my dresser drawer. There you go. Just to hide it so nobody else can see and think that maybe I hung it, and I will confront Corin tomorrow about it.
Okay. But you do, that night, as you try to do your prayers and atone for your sins, unfortunately your mind keeps going back to that same damn painting.
I do want to pray, because I think it's been a long time since I've felt like I had any direction from the Father. So I want to pray real hard and just ask for guidance in what I should do next. Is it His will that I should return to my family? I mean, I've got to return to them and solve this problem. But what does He really want from me?
You know, it's funny. You keep seeing that painting after you ask for direction.
Yeah. So
I'm like, really, this is like me having a crisis of faith, you know, where I'm just really confused, and I want to help my family, and I'm just like begging God to, like, give me something, give me some kind of a sign, give me some kind of direction, so I know that I'm doing Your will still to this day.
You know, the gods are fickle, but you're a paladin. I'm going to give you a chance. As you don't have any spells that can.
No, because I think clerics can, like,
clerics
more
do,
directly.
I don't think paladins do.
I'm
so this
tied
is
to
what
an oath, you know, so it's hard for me to feel like I have God's direction.
Yeah, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to roll a D100. The odds of you actually succeeding and reaching out to God is pretty fucking slim, but I'm giving you a chance. Roll a D100. Let's see if the gods answer your prayers.
I sent you a hot elf boy. What more do you want?
I want my wife. 8. Is lower better?
Lower was better, but it wasn't good enough, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah. You kneel down and you're praying and you're hoping. You just wish for some guidance. And you're praying fervently, thinking, whispering those motions over and over again. But unfortunately, at the end of your prayers, the gods have not answered for whatever reason.
I stand back up and I give a little sigh. And as I go to bed, I pour myself a glass of whiskey to drink before bed.
Yeah. And you sit back with that nightcap and just kind of lament and think about all those things your wife had wrote about in that diary of hers. It's got to be hard. But I think we'll end things right there for this evening. You have preparations to make, a journey to plan for. Rowena, the jewel of the Jutland Wastes, is out there waiting for you all, and a tournament is beginning soon.
Yep.
Willow has some business down there, but she hasn't specified. Kaya has her mission. And Ichabod, you know, your wife is somewhere there.
And my son is being too cool for school.
Yep. So a few different threads are tugging you in that direction. We'll see what happens next week when we come back. So on behalf of everyone here in the Debauchery Circus, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched this evening. Thank you for all those who are in chat. We very much appreciate your support. come join us again next Monday at 3 p.m. when we find out what happens and how the Debauchery Circus is going to make their way to this gladiator tournament. So once again, thank you to everyone who watched. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're clear. Yeah, what happened?